Hey, good afternoon. Welcome aboard the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Thursday, April the 2nd, 2015. 39 days we've been together. Tomorrow, wrapping up 8 weeks of fun and frolic. And, again, we continue to grow each and every day. We thank you for that more than you know. We dedicate each and every show to the man who hung on the cross up here behind us. That will never, ever change. Unashamedly, we do, I might add. And today's verse of the day comes out of the book of Romans, Romans 8, 27 and 28. It says, "Love me, I will see to it that all things work together for your good, for I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you, according to my will. Love me, I will see to it that all things work together for your good, for I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you, according to my will." Romans 8, 27 and 28. Today's show brought to you by Bristol Motor Speedway, American Import and Auto Repair, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Book Lovers Warehouse, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance, Bracken Asphalt Paving, and also Bracken Maintenance. I said it right? Nope. Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Bracken Paving. Hello. Hello to Sarah and the Apester. Went by there yesterday and saw those lovely ladies. Also, Wells Fargo Financial Network, Bays Mountain Park, Mike's Medicine Mart, and by the Gator Man at Cherokee Barbershop. Good afternoon, Horace. How are you, my friend?
Doing fine. Did you just say Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Just like
Curly.
Thursday. Certainly. That's my
You got a long
boys.
way to go before you look like him, though.
Thank you, but I love him.
I know you do.
Good stress release. Just sit down, pop some popcorn, and watch the Three Stooges. I love it. And so, well, lots going on today. We're going to hear from Denny, Hamlin, NASCAR driver, coming up in a little while. Also, Aric Almirola scheduled to be with us, and we'll hear from Aric a little bit later on in the show as well. Of course, all the NASCAR guys and ladies are off this week, enjoying, I would assume, a getaway of some sort, and we'll hear about that, exactly what Aric Almirola and his family are doing, getting away from the rat race, if you will, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Also, got an exclusive coming up, got a brand new basketball coach at Science Hill for the girls, and we're going to be talking to him later on this afternoon here in the show. Also, we've got, got a whole stack of stuff over here to talk about. The staff, there's been some changes on the Tennessee men's basketball team, as expected. We'll tell you all about that. Gino's got some comments about men's basketball. We'll tell you all about that. Also, Alabama football. The story we told you earlier in the week, it's all changed. Big changes in the story revolving in and around the young man who was charged with domestic violence. And so Alabama's got a tough decision to make. We'll tell you all about that coming up here in a few minutes. And also, as we said, we've got Aric Almirola and Denny Hamlin, and we've got my man Horace here with us. And all things are good on your side of the fence today. Is that correct?
I think so. I don't have my shoes on, but other than that, we're good to go.
Yeah, he's over in his stocking feet. Apparently stepped in some dog doo-doo and did not want to track it in, so his shoes are outside, and that's okay.
They better stay out there.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff. I mean, I was coming over. I was in a good mood, and I get in the truck, and I'm heading over here, and I said, "Uh-oh." I said, "Oh, man."
Yeah, so doggy doo-doo, yeah, it's not good. Well, so, anyway, he's in his stocking feet. It doesn't make any difference. He's my man Horace. There you go. Now, tonight, Johnson City Commission will take a look at this lease agreement between Johnson City and East Tennessee State for use of the Kermit-Tipton Stadium for the upcoming football season. That apparently remains in the hands of attorneys at the close of business yesterday. This article out of the Johnson City Press. Johnson City Commissioners put the deal on hold back in March after learning the Southern Conference concerned about monetary and other benefits flowing directly or indirectly to prospective student athletes. I still don't get that. I've asked a couple of people. I don't get that. I don't understand. Monetary and other benefits flowing directly or indirectly to prospective student athletes. I don't understand how that affects it, but, again, I am who I am, and maybe I'm just cornfused.
I guess they're concerned about the indirect method. I mean, if you got a college using your facility, and I guess you can benefit from that in some way, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. But
various city officials were not sure whether an insertion of language would make it into the agreement and on the agenda in time for tonight's City Commission meeting. They have said they're going forward with the Blue Gold game next Saturday a week at Kermit-Tipton Stadium. This is not part of this deal. This kicks in when the season starts later on in the year.
This is just inter-squad type stuff, so they're not really greatly affecting anything. But
yeah, so the lease itself will commence with the start of the football season. But, I don't – maybe somebody out there knows better than me. But, again, it says concerned about monetary and other benefits flowing directly or indirectly to prospective student athletes. I don't see how that, by playing on a high school football stadium field, I don't understand how that can benefit directly or indirectly prospective student athletes.
I haven't got a clue, man. If it's in the hands of attorneys, oh man, that's that's a bailiwick we don't want to go down.
Unless you're a hotshot football, maybe I don't know. Maybe they think if you're a hotshot football player and you're playing at Science Hill and you go watch the games at ETSU on your field, that may directly or indirectly influence you to go play football or go attend ETSU and play sports. But
maybe a booster or somebody comes up to you and say, "Hey, we're watching the game here, but we want you to play here on Saturdays."
But that can happen anywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, that could happen with somebody from, I don't know, pick a school. Chucky Doak, that's a hot shot player, going to UT and run into a UT staff member and say, man, we'd love to have you. Or some big money guy say, hey, XYZ player, you ought to consider UT. I just don't get it. I'm sure there's more to it. I don't understand.
Some judge is going to have to make a ruling. This is what it's going to come down to. And he's going to tell the NCAA, sorry, Charlie, ETSU is going to play there. It's not a long-term agreement. It's just for a year or so, one season maybe, and get over it.
Yeah. There you go. So now I got a good story here. One of the things my buddy does not like on his I don't like list, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, number 8. Here's a story that would go right along with what he does not like. He does not like old rock and roll bands trying to make a comeback. The Rolling Stones zipping across North America this summer.
Oh, boy.
15-city stadium tour known as the Zip Code Tour.
Zip Code Tour.
Mick Jagger, Charlie Watts, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood. They're going to be in concert. It's called the Zip Code Tour. Kicks off in May in San Diego. They'll go 15 cities across America, Columbus, Minneapolis, Dallas, Atlanta, Orlando, Nashville, among others. And so Keith Richards says, hey, man, we love being out on the road. It's great to come back to North America. Can't wait to get back on stage. So I saw this. I got to bring this up to my man because he is all about not bringing old, tired bands back out. Correct?
This is the perfect example, okay? Did you see the Super Bowl halftime show when the Rolling Stones performed?
No.
Mick Jagger up there on the stage trying to act like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Flab under his arms, flying in the wind. I mean, it was pathetic.
Sad, huh?
It was sad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love some of the Stones' music. I love. Okay, I've got them on my iPod. And if they want to go and sit down and create an album and put out another album, more power to them. All right, but performing out in the public, I mean, come on.
Yeah. You want to go to Nashville and see
You're
them?
not going to attract a bunch of younger kids. It's going to be a bunch of old salts. And
you want to go to Nashville and watch them?
No.
Road trip. You want to go?
And they're probably going to charge $300 a ticket.
I'm sure. There's probably sky's the limit because, again, if I'm not mistaken, each one of these guys are in their 70s. So
I'm sorry.
Anyway, my man Horace, I knew that'd get him rolling. It was good. When he says, I'm sorry, got him going.
You got me.
So that's one of the things he doesn't like, and so they are going back out on tour. The Rolling Stones, which is not sports-related, but it's Horace-related. So there you go. Now, new basketball coach at Science Hill. We'll have him on the show here coming up later on this afternoon, live in the next hour. Scotty Whaley from the assistant from the staff of both Daryl Barnwell and Keith Turner. And so the interview process, and they hired from within.
In-house.
Yeah,
went in-house.
stayed in-house. 47-year-old gentleman. I know him, and class act, know him well. And he was part of the staffs, again, that did very, very well, again, under the coaching of Daryl Barnwell and Keith Turner. So
now, a lot of people out there, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to point their finger and say, yeah, it's just old Science Hill, take care of their own. This is all about keeping things in the family. And, that not no one really ever had a chance at it. They just went through the motions so they can say they did it.
Well, I couldn't tell you.
I
don't know whether they did that way or whether that's going to be said, but I'm sure it's always going to
it'll be said by some people.
Yeah.
But especially by those that didn't get they got a fair shot at it. So
in the Johnson City Press today, again, he served as Science Hill's junior varsity coach for the past 6 years. Overall record as the JV coach of 106 wins and 14 defeats.
Well, I'm not saying he's not qualified. This may be the perfect pick. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that there could be some people out there that they're going to make that accusation.
Yeah. So I saw a guy snap the other day because I saw a guy get mad because at a fast food restaurant, one of the little ketchup packets, he complained there wasn't enough ketchup in the packet. I'm telling you, I'm sitting there going, you got to be kidding
Dude, I
me.
get fortune cookies with no fortune. Get over it.
Yeah. Follow Horace around. How can you complain about not having enough ketchup in a ketchup packet? He went up and complained. I'm standing there, I'm thinking, and after I walked away, I said, I looked at the little girl. Of course, he's berated her over that, and I said, "Ma'am, you're surrounded by idiots. Don't worry about that." So yeah, somebody will complain about this. Exactly. Not enough ketchup in a ketchup packet. What now? This is not sports related.
Get another one.
Well, I mean, logically thinking, of course, that usually you bring logic into it. It's a defeated right out of the chute.
Yeah.
What do you think the girl's going to do if you walk up and say there's not enough ketchup in the packet? I mean, what do you expect the lady to do? Oh, let me take it back there and open it up and put some more and give it back. I mean, what?
Yeah.
He just wanted. He had a beef. He was mad at somebody.
Yeah, they just pass them out.
So yes, there'll be somebody that didn't like this hire, but. Again, Scotty Whaley over the last 6 years, 106-14 as a Scienceville JV coach. That's pretty strong. Yeah. 6 into 106 is how much you reckon? Oh, thank you for asking, Tom. All right,
get
Horse.
Your West Virginia calculator
There
out.
we go. Is that Casio or Queso?
Casio.
Thank you. Casio, 106 divided by 6.
But West Virginia says Casio.
18 wins a year.
Yeah.
18 wins a year. And 14 divided by 6.
Yeah.
A little bit 2. So he's talking a little over 2s. You're talking about 18-2 record every year. Does that sound right? Plays 20 games. Doesn't sound right. But anyway, 106-14.
That's about right.
Thought they'd play more than that. Yeah, it's JV that did.
JV.
So 106-14 over 6 years. He's been a constant as the Lady Toppers have won 269 games over the past decade. That would give you about 27 wins a season. And so he was with Darrell Barnwell when they got back-to-back state championship appearances. Also, he's been with Keith Turner, was 51-11 over the past 2 seasons. His second stint as a varsity head coach, he served on an interim basis, 1 year at Unicoi County. So we'll talk to Coach Whaley coming up here in a little while about this, and pretty exciting stuff. I know he's pretty jazzed. I ran into him the other day. He told me when the interview process was happening, and he was pretty excited about the opportunity to get that job if he was so elected to, and he was. So we'll talk to him coming up here in a little while. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Thursday.
Thursday.
That's what I need up here. I need a Three Stooges picture of Curly. Certainly. A wise guy. Oh, yeah, I love him. Now, we got a problem in Alabama. Big problem. You ready?
Are they backtracking?
The woman who said the former Alabama football player Jonathan Taylor assaulted her has recanted the allegations. She's been arrested for a falsifying report. 24-year-old woman who's not been identified was arrested on a charge of false reporting to law enforcement. Tuscaloosa police said Wednesday in a release. She was released from the Tuscaloosa County Jail on bond. Now, the release also said police will review the charges at a later date. Taylor arrested on Saturday. Coach Nick Saban dismissed him from the football team. Charged with domestic violence, third-degree assault. It's all been made up. Domestic violence, third-degree criminal mischief after the woman reported injuries to her neck and damage to her apartment. She apparently took her own fingers and raked her neck to make it look like he had scratched her. She said a verbal argument allegedly turned physical, and I don't know how to explain the door got kicked in or damage to the bedroom door at this lady's apartment or condo.
If it's inside a house and it was in a bedroom, that kind of door, she could have kicked it.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But she's recanted the whole thing, says I made it all up. And so they arrested her on a false reporting. Now, they've kicked him off the football team. So now, if you're Alabama, I mean, this guy, allegedly in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. So now this lady has come back and said it's all a bunch of hocus pocus. I made it all up, malarkey, if you will. So now do you reinstate this guy from the football team? This is the one that came over from Georgia. Mm-hmm. And so I guess they got mad, and she said, well, I'll show you. I don't know what she did. I'll show you. I'll fix you. So she trumped up this report, and she has come back. And as I said, they arrested her because she made it all up. So the question is, if you're Alabama, do you reinstate this guy?
They've got him a problem on their hands.
There you go. We got some big can of worms now because if he did it, okay, fine. But Saban, in his defense and the staff, they reacted to the evidence shown to them.
But they acted prematurely because he wasn't convicted.
But 3 days later, she comes forward and says, I made it all up.
So what I'm saying is they jumped the gun. If he had in fact done it and did it, then it would have come out. He would have been charged. He would have been prosecuted, and he would have been sentenced. Okay. And there was plenty of time to address that before first game in the fall. Now then, they jumped the gun, kicked him off the team. 3 days later, he's wiped. The slate's clean for him.
Yeah.
They've got some problems. I mean, if I was him, he could probably take them to the cleaners.
Well, he had the problem in Georgia,
Right.
but he came to Alabama with a clean slate.
Started over.
So what he did back there doesn't count in
No.
Georgia. As far as Alabama, I mean, what he did is wrong, but as far as his playing status at Alabama.
They accepted him. They put him on the team.
Bingo.
And they went with him.
Clean slate.
You got it.
So now this lady screams that he beat her up, kicked in her door, scratched her and all this, so they arrest him, and they ultimately kick him off the football team. And she's come back and said, I made it all up.
Now, how's the NCAA going to address this?
There's the other can of worms. So it's the
will
old rock in the pond ripple effect.
Yeah, will they let him go to another team?
Well, I'm like you. If this is the way, and there may be more, but because this has all changed in 2 or 3 days. But if this is the final story, I think they reinstate him.
But I wouldn't want to play for him.
Well, there you.
If they're that don't have that much trust in me and feel that and want to jump the gun that fast, if I did it and I accept my punishment, so be it. But I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And you kicked me off the team.
Yep.
Would I want to play for that coach and that program?
Yeah.
So will the NCAA let him go somewhere else?
Yeah, because they're going to come back in hand in hand and say, man, we messed up. And, I guess they did. But his track record, they did kind of jump the gun, I suppose. But, the lady says he kicked the door in and scratched her, and now she's made it all up. So they reacted to what I guess they let his track record come into play too. So there's there's all kinds of different sides of this. Does he want to go back to Alabama? Is Alabama going to ask him to come back? And then, as you said, what's the NCAA going to say about the whole thing? And then, of course, I'm sure she has an attorney. She's probably retained an attorney, so that's going to get from.
She's in a little bit more hot water than he is.
Yeah.
Because, he could probably go after her civilly, too.
Arrested on a charge of false reporting to law enforcement. She was released from the Tuscaloosa County Jail on bond. A release also said police will review the charges at a later date. Alabama did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Taylor was arrested on Saturday, and Coach Nick Saban dismissed the defensive lineman on Sunday.
Now, he may not be totally innocent. There's something had to provoke her to do that. So he may not be the the sweet little jewel that it appears in
Where
this
there's
situation.
smoke, there's fire.
Yes, but
how much smoke and how much fire?
Right.
There you go.
I still think Alabama jumped the gun.
Yeah.
They should have waited at least until he had a hearing before a judge and went forward to either take a plea or whatever. If he had pled guilty, then so be it.
Yeah.
Done, over. But I think they jumped the gun just a little bit there.
Yeah. So bottom line is, as my mom used to say when I did something wrong, when your father gets home, you got some splaining to do.
Splaining to do.
And boy, did I. And so, time I bust out the neighbor's window with a baseball. Whoo.
But being a UT fan, I ain't crying about it.
About any of this?
No.
Are you enjoying this?
I'm enjoying every second of it. Oh yeah, Alabama's got issues.
You got issues. You got it. So we'll see. But that's the story coming out of Tuscaloosa today, that the young lady has recanted the allegations. She has since been arrested on a charge of false reporting to law enforcement. They typically frown on that, don't they? In law enforcement, when you trump up a story and then come back and say, oh, by the way, I made it all up. Yeah. And they go through all that process and take the time to book her.
Her credibility is shot.
Yeah. But
if that was the witness against him, their prosecution, it's gone. They have nothing to convict him on.
There you go. So, anyway, that's going on in Alabama. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. I'm sure there'll be more coming out of this story because this all happened just since yesterday, and the initial problems happened over the weekend down in Tuscaloosa. Coming up, we'll find out about Gino. Gino's got some things to say, the head coach of the Lady Huskies of University of Connecticut. He weighs in on the men's basketball programs, such as it is. The state of men's basketball in this country was not very complimentary, I might add. Also, Rick Barnes, the staffing going on down at Knoxville, as you would expect, got some folks being sent to the door because they're not with the new regime, they're with the old regime. We got the quiz show coming up here in a little while. Also got David Carmichael looming on the horizon later on in the show from the Johnson City Parks and Rec. David Crum, our buddy from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, he'll join us coming up next hour along with Scotty Whaley, again the new basketball coach for the Lady Hilltoppers of Science Hill. Let me run down for you high school baseball as we have it from yesterday. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood for baseball. Happy Valley blanking Unique at 10-0. Dobbins Minute takes 2, and they're going to be playing, as a matter of fact, in the championship of the Hanahan Invitational tonight outside of Charleston, South Carolina, taking on West Ashley out of Charleston at 7:30. Wouldn't that be nice down there to call a game tonight in Charleston and go down there and get a big old hit one of them seafood restaurants in Charleston?
Oh,
ooh, yeah.
son. Charleston. That's a beautiful place.
You got it. Used to live there. So Dobbins went at 12-4. West Ashley out of Charleston, South Carolina at 7:30 in the final. Yesterday, Hunter Wolf, Alex White, Newly Burton all had a couple of hits for DB. And also you had Sammy Stewart adding a double and a run scored for Dobbins Bennett, again going to 12-4, playing for the championship today in that event down in Charleston, South Carolina. North Green beat Sullivan East 3-1 in high school baseball play. Let's make sure I get them all in here because they're all deserving of being told who did what. And Sullivan North defeated. They went to 2-10 on the season. Golden Raiders beat Lehigh out of Virginia 7-3. The final there. Now, we've got baseball today. Got a lot of it. Happy Valley plays at Volunteer today. Sullivan South will be at Tennessee High. Haynesfield Park to battle the Vikings. Daniel Boone takes on Knox Halls at Oak Ridge. Daniel Boone will play then at Oak Ridge. They got two going on there today. Sullivan East at Sullivan Central. And as we told you, Dobbins Bennett plays Ashley, South Carolina, the championship of the Hanahan Invitational at 7:30 tonight in Charleston, South Carolina. In Virginia today, Gate City, the Blue Devils play at Lebanon. Thomas Walker at Twin Springs. Letcher County, Kentucky at J.I. Burton. And Rye Cove will play at Eastside. And one track and field match today, or meet, and that would be a dual meet. You ever ran track? Did you run track in the day?
When I was in junior high school, I think they made us run track during PE. But other than that, no.
Ever told you my track story?
You got a story for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you?
Classic. Anyway, and what made me think it was a dual meet. Sullivan North and Sullivan South today in the dual track meet. All right, tell you that story before we go to the break. Like you, playing basketball back up home, you had to run track or cross country. So I opted, to go track. So I was a part of the 2-mile relay, which had to run an 880.
2-hour relay.
2 mile.
2 mile.
Yeah,
okay.
Everybody had to run an 880. 4 legs, 880. So my father, who never went to many of my athletic events, came home one night. This is great. Came home with a red ribbon, second place ribbon. Walked in. Well, how'd it go today, son? He was in the garden working, and I said, he's always in the garden working. So I came home, and he was sitting there. I said, how'd it go, son? I said, went great, Dad. How'd you do? I said, man, look, I got a second place. I said, man, that is great. That's fantastic. I said, yeah, it ran hard. Where'd you run? I said, second leg out of the four. I said, great. Where's your time? And I told him what it was, and went on in and took a push pin and put it up on my bedroom wall. And he came in and told us, look at our boy. He got second place. And never told him it was a 2-team meet.
Oh, that's so bad.
Never told him it was a dual meet. For all he knew, it was 80.
Everybody got a ribbon.
Well, I mean, there's only 2 teams. You get first or second. I never told him. For all he knew, it was an 84-team meat. I said, man, I got second place. It was great. That's great. Never told him there was 2 teams.
Did your brothers know?
No, nobody knew.
Gosh.
In fact, I'm not sure this may be one of the only few times I've ever told that story. So, never told me. They wanted to be proud of me. I said, damn.
Came in second in a 2-man race.
There you go. It's a dual meet. It is what it is.
Oh, gosh.
All right. We'll take a break. Come right back. We got Denny Hamlin. We're going to hear from Denny Hamlin. Again, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series driver with the FedEx Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing. And we'll hear from him. And then also we got coming up at the bottom of the hour, we have the quiz show coming up. And we're also going to talk a little Gino, a little Rick Barnes staffing at Tennessee for the men's basketball program. All that coming up. Again, right after you hear this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's not just a race, it's the place. A place to set up a tent, park the RV, and start emptying the cooler. A place to fire up the grill in the Tennessee hills and take in the best short track racing in NASCAR. The place is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Hope you'll join us on April 19th for the Food City 500. Call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com. It's not just a place.
It's Bristol, baby!
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no.
Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Dillon Sports Show again on this Thursday. Thank you for being with us. Again, the NASCAR Hall of Fame media battle is out. You can vote for your favorite NASCAR. You got, 20 guys are going to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame come May 20th, and you get a chance to vote them in. The 5 nominees with the highest percentage of votes will comprise the fan vote ballot. You go to NASCAR.com/Hall of Fame, and you can do that. And, again, here are some of the I'll read them all for you. Buddy Baker. Red Byron, he's the first NASCAR champion back in 1949. He ought to be in. He's the first champion ever. I mean, I don't know anything about him, but, it's a no-brainer. He ought to be in. Richard Childress is in for nomination, I should say. Jerry Cook, 6-time NASCAR modified champion. Ray Evernham, 3-time NASCAR Premier Series championship crew chief. Ray Fox, legendary engine builder. Rick Hendrick, 14-time car owner champion. Harry Hyde, the NASCAR Premier Series champion crew chief in 1970. Bobby Isaac, who won it in 1970. The late Alan Kulwicki, I would think he'd be one to get a lot of votes. 1992 NASCAR Premier Series champion. Here's my man, Iceman, Texas Terry Labonte, 2-time NASCAR Premier Series champion. Here's one I think will be a shoe-in. Mark Martin, 96-time race winner in NASCAR National Series competition. I'd say he's in.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5 they're voting on. Herschel McGriff, Raymond Parks, NASCAR's first champion car owner. Benny Parsons, 1973 NASCAR champion.
Benny ought to be in there.
Larry Phillips, only 5-time NASCAR Weekly Series national champion. Bruton Smith, a builder of Charlotte, and, of course, the architect of Speedway Motorsports and the owner of Bristol Motor Speedway. Mike Stefanik, winner of record-tying 9 NASCAR championships. Curtis Turner, the early personality called the Babe Ruth of stock car racing. And Robert Yates won NASCAR's Premier Series championship as both an engine builder and an owner. Now, if you're going to ask me who I would vote for, who out of those, who would you do?
Benny Parsons for sure.
There's one. You got 5.
Hendricks probably.
Rick Hendrick, 2.
You were talking about Martin.
3.
Off the top of my head, the first champion.
Red Byron, that's 4.
4. I'll have to.
Kulwicki, Labonte, Bruton Smith, Benny Parsons. You mentioned Benny already. So. Richard Childress.
Well, I'd say Labonte.
There you go. All right. Let's see. My 5 would be, and I can vote. We can vote. Go to NASCAR.com/Hall of Fame. Runs through May the 19th, the balloting. 5 nominees. The highest percentage of votes will comprise the fan vote ballot, and they'll be voted on and announced at the NASCAR Hall of Fame on May 20th. So you can do this, and they're encouraging to do this. Let me think. My 5 would be, no question, Terry Labonte, Alan Kulwicki, Mark Martin, Red Byron, the first NASCAR Series champion. I don't know. Do I do Buddy Baker, Benny Parsons, or Bruton? I don't know. I don't know which one I'd have to. Benny Parsons.
Benny Parsons, he commentated for a long time, too. And he's a man of my own heart because he was always finding them places to eat.
Yeah.
And they had a little segment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's got my vote.
Yeah, that's surprised there. He was a NASCAR champion back in '73.
Yeah.
Buddy Baker won 19 times in NASCAR's premier now Sprint Cup Series, including the Daytona 500, Southern 500, or Bruton. Have to study on that one. That fifth would be pretty tough.
Bruton, he's rubbed noses with NASCAR sometimes in the wrong way. So, he would have to get in for fan votes, I would think. 'Cause, I think it's going to be a while before NASCAR.
That's who's voting on this. Fans are doing it.
All
voting.
the fans?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you might be surprised to me fans will vote for Bruton because they like his style.
May go with him. Even though I like Buddy Baker, and you can't go wrong with Buddy Baker or Benny Parsons, but definitely for me, it'd be Kowicki and Labonte and Martin and Red Byron, the first NASCAR champion of '49. He's got to be in there.
Yeah.
He should have been in a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's the first one. So anyway, you can vote, and you can do that again by NASCAR.com/Hall of Fame. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Caught up with Denny Hamlin, again, the NASCAR driver who won the race on Sunday, the STP 500 in Martinsville. Question was posed, Denny, ask about sharing information with his teammates. Do you or don't you? And what's right?
It's something I think about all the time on, whether, because it's so hard to win. Do you withhold information to give yourself that edge? And I never have. I just have never, it's never crossed, I've never withheld any information that I could give to my teammates that I shouldn't have. And it just, I feel like it, because I'm going to be the guy that's going to lean on help from them. I mean, I couldn't find my rear end around Charlotte until I had Kyle Busch. And we talked about short tracks and what I do there. And he took off and ran really well. And then next thing you know, I needed help at tracks, and I got that help back. So it's important for Joe Gibbs Racing to run 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless you give all that information, that's hard to do. That's an awesome feeling to know that you can race your teammates for victory. It's tough because those guys are good. They can take whatever we've got and put it in their car, and they can beat me on any given weekend. And so we know that's the risk, but we know that that comes back to us tenfold when we need their help. So I'll always be a total open book to those guys, and they've been awesome teammates to me this year. I'm really excited about what Joe has put together, his driver lineup, the way we've worked together so far. It's really been fun.
Denny Hamlin again from the NASCAR Spring Cup Series. So, good question. I've always wondered that myself, okay? You and I race on the same team. You're wanting to win, I'm wanting to win, so we share information, but, how transparent are you? Do you want, knowing full well that, as he said, on any given Sunday, Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, or Kyle Busch, in this case David Reagan for now, can beat you with what they've got as far as their cars and their package and the setup. So how much info do you share with your teammates? Forget the other competitors. This is internal, in-house. And I would have to think, I don't know about Joe Gibbs, I would have to think some of these race teams, some of these guys aren't as forthcoming with information as other drivers would be.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and because, again, I may be giving information to you, and you turn around and win 3 or 4 races in a row, and it's because of stuff I gave you. So I think it'd be very tough. I've never thought of that particular aspect of the NASCAR Spring Cup Series, sharing information, but what we share together may end up coming back to haunt me. So, and he said as you heard him say, he never has thought twice about not divulging information. He gives everything he knows and figures that, I don't know if he's a man of faith, but I got the impression he said it'll come back tenfold. So maybe just and I'm putting words in his mouth, he may just speculate that, hey, good Lord's going to take care of me if I do this right. He didn't say that, but the implication was there in a roundabout way. So I don't know. What would you do? Would you and I are on the same team. You got to divulge information. Let's say you won 2 or 3 races. I'm over here struggling. You say, my guys, and you sit down with me and say, okay, here's what we're doing to win, and here's how we're getting it done. And so I'm going to hand you the information that I may turn around this week and beat you down in Texas or Bristol.
I would, as a team owner, I would say there are certain things that are mandatory that you would have to share. But what the bottom line is, you're all racing for a championship, and you're all racing to make money. It's a business as much as anything else. It's your livelihood, and you win and you progress. So there are some things I think that would be taboo that I would keep under wraps, but I think there are going to be some things that would be mandatory that you would have to share for safety reasons and just generally, being a team player. But I would try to find that fine line and dictate to my guys, okay, you come up with something that works, and it has to do with safety or it has to do with team play. Let's share it. If you find something that that benefits you and your style of driving, not necessarily somebody else's style of driving, but makes you comfortable, and you want to keep that under wraps for a while, just test it out to see how it works, so be it.
I'm right there with you, but again, it would be very tough. Your points are well taken, but again, at the end of the day, I got these sponsors saying, Tom, you're not winning. And Horace is winning, and your guys are saying, okay, you gave him information, now he's winning and you're not, and I'm paying you big bucks to drive my car with big sponsorship all over my side of my car, your car in this case. And so then you look at how the sponsors look at it. I mean, yeah, we're all in the same together, but, you've got let's see, in his case, you got FedEx, you got Kansas, got Dollar General, for example, and then, of course, Kyle's got the M&M's Toyota machine, so, and then Carl Edwards got the Aris Toyota, but those sponsors are wanting their guy that they signed and paying big bucks to win races. So at what point do you draw the line and go, because you're catching heat from the guy behind you, the sponsor going, okay, it's all fine and good to be buddies, but he's winning. I'm paying you big bucks to drive my car, and you're giving information that he's winning.
Well, like I said, somebody could be a better driver than you on that team, okay? And if he has the same information, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. You just gave up your wins. I mean, so you're still in the same boat. My sponsorships are going to be wanting wins, but I've given this information over to my teammate. He's a better driver than me, and he's winning because of it. Now, there's some things I think you have to pass on. Some things I think you can keep under wraps, and it gives you a little bit more of an advantage to keep things on an even keel.
Well put, but at the end of the day, I get a little tap on my shoulder from, let's say I'm Kyle Busch, which I'd be all right with me, a boy can drive a car, from M&M's and saying, hey, Tom, yes, sir? I'm paying you X number of $1 million to drive my car, and you're giving him information. I don't care how good he is, if he's better than you, so your point well taken. However, I'm paying you big bucks. You signed to drive my car. I want you to bring home the checkers. And maybe, I don't know if the sponsors are getting to the position saying, don't give out so much information. I don't know if they do that or not, but I would think it'd be a little – and these guys are big egos, along with Danica. It's all guys on earth. Let's face it, they all have a big ego, I would think, and they're getting paid a lot of money to do this sport. I would just think at some point the sponsors say, again, love the team attitude, but at the end of the day, I'm paying you mega bucks to win with my car in Victory Lane on national television, all the talk. And so at some point they may be encouraged, to not be so forthcoming with the information. I don't know. But your point's taken, too, well taken. Driver A, driver B, driver A must be a better driver. He may have better equipment, may have better staff, maybe whatever.
So you don't share the information because it makes you a better driver, keeps it on the even keel.
Yeah. But as he said, and I thought it was a pretty good interview, he said, I don't bat an eye. I'll give everything I got to give as far as information. I'm never holding out. So, but I promise you, down through the years, there's been drivers that have not done that. I guarantee it. And I would think then
they don't have to worry. I mean, yeah, these drivers have to worry about their sponsors, but in the grand big scheme of things, they're not the ones seeking out the sponsors. It's the team owners that are getting the sponsorship.
Right.
So, I mean, they got to make their team owners happy. And if they're making their team owners happy, who cares?
It may roll downhill.
Yeah.
The sponsor may go to the team owner and say, look, old Tom over there, he ain't getting it done. Well, he's, and the boy Horace over here, he's smoking us, and we ain't happy. So,
just put me in a car and let me drive.
There you go. But I would think that there's probably a lot of that goes on because, again, when they have their staff meetings, imagine going into the room with, and I like Kenseth the other day. Where was it? California? He was leading the race and come off of the. They changed his tires and dropped down on the concrete and broke an axle. I mean, this guy was the car to beat out in California long before all the hubbub about the cautions. And so he has to go back in there Tuesday and sit down and look across the table from Carl Edwards and David Reagan and Denny Hamlin and Joe Gibbs and talk about what went wrong. And he had the better car, but he didn't get it done. But I just think it'd be interesting sometimes some of those staff meetings that it's called professional jealousy. It's called pressure and stress, because I think every time you go out there, it's your resume. Every time you're out there in that car, you got to prove yourself. Like anything else you're doing. If it's a basketball game or football game, in this case NASCAR, you get, 32 Sundays to show how good you are. And anyway, I thought Denny Hamlin it was an interesting question, and I thought he had a very interesting response that he is forthcoming on everything, and I guarantee you some are not. And then you look at the camaraderie. If you're in the room, me, you, and this guy, there's 4 teams in this particular company, and we're all getting along, but this one over here is sitting back going, I ain't giving y'all nothing or not as much. Well, then you got a little morale problem. Then all of a sudden, we leave the room going back to our crews and saying, oh, Freddie over there, he ain't one of us. And then I think it just creates a lot of internal stress. Agree or disagree?
Well, it could, yeah. I don't see how it couldn't.
Yeah.
But, and on the flip side too, you could have all the information shared, and if you're not a good driver, it's not going to help you in any way, fashion, or form.
Yeah,
you're still going to be in the back end regardless. So
there you go. Guess it goes both ways.
Goes both ways.
Good food for thought. Let's just tell you about Pete Taggett. What's going on at Antioch Baptist Church? Pete's going to be with us tomorrow talking about the Easter Sunday. Of course, it is the Super Bowl, the church calendar. Most important day of the year for those of us of the Christian faith. Also a time when many look back to the church at Antioch Baptist Church in southwest Johnson City. I think that's where you told me it was. Yep. We invite you to one of the 2 Easter services at 9 and 11 on Sunday morning. Were you there? They'll use media, drama, music, and teaching to invite you to look at the Easter scene, decide if you see yourself in those at the cross. Antioch is located at 1014 Antioch Road, about a mile east of East Tennessee State, the corner of Seminole and Antioch. They had Carl Torbush in there a couple of weeks ago, very progressive church. They're on the move, doing a lot of neat things. They will have an Easter egg hunt at noon on Saturday at their pavilion for the community Easter egg hunt, including free food and prizes, plus free pictures of you with the Easter Bunny. Now, I'm advocating Horace to go get his picture sitting on the lap of the Easter Bunny. I would pay for that one, I promise you. I would shuck out some shillings to see Horace sitting
better be a big Easter Bunny. That's all I got to say.
He better have some reinforcements. When Horace sits on his lap, you may hear that Easter Bunny go, ugh! So, anyway, big boy. Then on Sunday, join him for one of the 2 Easter services at 9 and 11 again. Antioch Baptist Church, 1014 Antioch Road, southwest Johnson City, about a mile west of East Tennessee State, the corner of Antioch and Seminole. So we appreciate them very much. And one of our paid sponsors, and we say thank you to that from Antioch Baptist Church. Pete listened to the show and said, man, I'd like to be on your show promoting what's going on in our church. And I said, it can happen. It can be arranged. So there you go. Appreciate him very much. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Our ticket winner is going to pull another ticket winner coming up later on today. Here are the ticket winners so far, winning tickets to the Drive to Stop Diabetes 300, the Can-Am Pro Series Pit Light 125. So far, we'll draw another name before the end of the show today. Kent Archer out of Limestone, Denise Odessa from Kingsport, Britt Marshall from Churchill, and Sarah Noel from Nashville. How about that? 3 out of the 4 ladies.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
3 out of the 4 are Fraulines that have won tickets to go see the doubleheader 2 weeks from Saturday. It's hard to believe. It's going to be here, 2 weeks from Saturday, the Drive to Stop Diabetes 300. And let's see, I was telling you yesterday some of the drivers are there from a year ago, and I got that somewhere. So we had Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, of course, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Ty Dillon, Regan Smith, some of the drivers in the race last year. So you'll see for sure some of the Cup drivers in the race coming up again this year in 2 weeks, as we said. And I had that here somewhere, but I can't get my finger on it for the time being, but I'll track it down. But I pretty much hit them. 8 or 9 drivers from the Cup Series that was in the race last year. They expect much the same this year. So if you get a chance, all you got to do is
go to tomtaylorsportsshow@gmail.com. Send us an email with your contact information, name, address, and such. And a little bit about why you would like to have the tickets, and we'll throw your name in the hat, and maybe you two will be going on April 18th to watch those 2 races.
Sarah Noel said she loves Denny Hamlin. I don't know if he's going to be in the race, but she loves Denny Hamlin and loves NASCAR. So we picked her name yesterday from Nashville. Now, looking over here, did you go back and did Gator correct what he didn't do for you yesterday? Did you go back over?
No.
He didn't put something on your face?
Oh, he just forgot to use the cold towel.
Forgot to use the cold towel. All right.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about Cherokee Barbershop, would you please?
Cherokee Barbershop there on South Run Street next to Tipton Haynes Farm. Good old-fashioned barbershop. Walk in there, and you see a little old fella named Gator with a 1 chair, and he'll ask you to sit down, and if you want to shave, he'll put them hot towels on your face, soften up that beard, lay you back. Next thing you know, you're snoozing. But he uses a straight razor. He does not use them disposable kind, and he'll give you a nice old shave, and there at the end, he sprays a little cold water on your face to make them whiskers stand up one more time, and does it all over again. So you get a little extra closeness there. And, of course, when you're done, he's got that vibrating thing of the jig you ever use and puts them on your back shoulders. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
but
nice.
And the haircut goes with it. And $11, buy a cup of coffee. He'll give you a haircut. And if you want to shave, it'll be just a tad more. But I tell you what, if you just like going to a barber the old-fashioned way, man, he's the one to go to.
You got it. And haircuts are free. Cost you $11. You get to keep the cup. $11 for the cup, and you get to keep the cup. So you can't beat that. Again, it's at Cherokee Barbershop, 8:30 to 5, Tuesday through Friday, and Saturdays 8:30 to 1. You want to get your ears lowered, get all prettied up for Easter Sunday, it'd be a place to go. Get a beard trim, get your ears lowered, and make you look good walking into the church house on Easter Sunday. And that would be a good way to do that. And so, again, haircuts are free. The cup costs you $11. You get to keep the cup. My favorite part, when I cut my hair a couple of weeks ago, he sneezed. He's a trickster and went, I'm sorry, and squirted some ice-cold water out of a spray bottle that I didn't know he had on the back of my neck. He said, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sneeze on you. I went, God, ew, gross. And he started laughing. So he does that to all his first-timers. So he's a good one. He's our buddy, the Gator Man at the Cherokee Barbershop, South Roan Street, right down from Tipton Haynes working for him. If the barber pole's out, he's in, and he's easy to find there in that shopping center. And you look for the big sign, Cherokee Barbershop. Quiz show coming up next. Our buddy Richard Isaacs from Kingsport Cabinetry. He's got the questions, and we're ready to go. And also coming up, we'll hear from Gino from the UConn Lady Huskies basketball coach. Said the men's game's a joke. We'll talk about that. Also, staffing issues for the University of Tennessee men's basketball team. Also coming up, we will hear from David Carmichael from the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Scotty Whaley, the brand-new coach of the Science Hill Lady Hilltopper basketball team, coming up later in the show. David Crum, the TWRA, and also NASCAR driver Aric Almirola, all coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back after you hear and see this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Hey, Diet Mountain Dew driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. here. On April 19th, I'll be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500. Tickets start at just $64, so call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com today to see me and my Diet Mountain Dew team in Bristol. It's Bristol, baby.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello to Katina Bowman. Thank you. Saw last night on the website. She watched the show last night podcasting. So hello to Katina and John. Great folks, and appreciate her very much. Also, last night at the church house, my man Hosey came up down the hall and said, hello, sensitive, because he brought me the Blue Lizard sensitive sunscreen. So for sensitive men, thank you, Hosey. And we're going to play for him, as a matter of fact. Let's go to the phone. He's our buddy Richard Isaacs from the Kingsport Cabinetry. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good, Tom. How you doing, buddy?
Just fine, sir. Before we get into the quiz show, tell us about Kingsport Cabinetry. Folks out there doing a lot of spring fix-up and may need some cabinetry done, and tell us how you can help. It's been around for a while. Tell us about the company, would you please?
Yes, sir. Well, I've been in the cabinet business since, too long to talk about, but ever since I got out of college. So I've had a lot of experience. I got about 30 years experience in the cabinet business, and we've done everything from houses to the Meadowview Marriott project over here. We've done big projects, small projects. We'll do a bathroom or we'll do a hospital. It doesn't matter. We do all kinds of commercial work, and we do a lot of residential work. We got a full operating shop, so we can do custom stuff. We can do factory cabinets, just whatever you need. I believe we can take care of in the cabinet and countertop end.
So in the last 30 days, tell me some of the things you've been working on, or some of the things you've installed. You don't have to give out names, but geographically, where have you been?
No problem. We're actually got some good projects going right now. We're doing the new Johnny Brusco's over in the Pinnacle. We're finishing that up this week. We've got the Grandfather Mountain Golf and Country Club going. We've got some work at the Chamber of Commerce over here in Kingsport, and just several things. That's right off the top of my head. I know we got those going right now.
Talking to Richard Isaac, who owns Kingsport Cabinetry. Is there a website we can go to see all the different options you've got?
We are actually trying to get that together right now, so I'll keep you posted on that. So when we get all of our pictures on there and stuff, people can go on and take a look at some of our work that we've done.
There you go. And a phone number.
423-247-6134.
There you go. That's our buddy Richard, and he does fantastic work, and I stand with his friendship. I'm not seeing him his work, but whatever he does, I stand behind it because he's a solid guy and a great Christian man, and I appreciate that very much. And you've got the quiz show questions. You're ready to go. Is that correct?
I'm ready, buddy.
All right, here we go.
See you win one.
I do too. We're going to play for our buddy David Holtzclaw, the one who made fun of me. So here's quiz show theme. Bingo. There you go. So the man who called me sensitive, again, I'm going to play and see if I can get Hosey a free oil change from American Import and Auto Repair. Also a free haircut from Cherokee Barbershop. He wears it short like horse, so there wouldn't be much cutting going on there. And also a couple of all-day passes to use when he wants to, and anytime this calendar year at Bays Mountain Park. And we're going to be adding some more to that next week. Another restaurant's going to come on board, and we're excited about that. All right, here we go, my friend. We got 5 questions. Let's see if I can win it for David Holtzclaw. I'm ready to go if you are.
Let's go, buddy. Question number 1, true or false? Tiger Woods is no longer ranked in the top 100 golfers in the world.
That is true.
True or false?
That is
true.
Yep.
I was amazed when I heard that the other day, so I thought, well, Tom will know that for sure. So good job. That's correct, Tom.
Question number 1, got it. All right, number 2.
Number 2, true or false? In the Baseball Hall of Fame, there are 4 members of the Hall of Fame with the last name Robinson. True or false?
Ah, boy. Brooks Robinson, Frank Robinson, 2. There's 4. Of course, there could be, I don't know all the old-timers. 4 names in the Hall of Fame with start last name Robinson. True or false? I know 2, Frank and Brooks. I'm going with your voice inflection. I'm going to say that is true.
Good job.
Oh.
Yeah, that is true.
Awesome.
I know the other one was Jackie, and I can't remember the other one's name, but there is 4 of them there. That's the most common name in the Baseball Hall of Fame is Robinson.
There you go. 2 for 2.
Right.
All right.
2 for 2, buddy. Let's go. All right. Number 3. Question number 3.
Yes, sir.
True or false? North Carolina, in men's basketball, North Carolina has won more tournament games than any other NCAA team. True or false?
Oh, me, oh, my. This is a toughie. More tournament games, not championships, games, right?
Just games, tournament games.
More tournament games than anybody else in NCAA history. North Carolina. Oh, me, oh, my. Let me think here. More tournament games. I'm going to say to them or UCLA for all the championships.
Think about it now. Think about it, Tom. You're on a roll here.
Yes, I know. Don't put the pressure on me. Let's think. I'm already nervous. Let's see. Gosh, more tournament games they've won. More tournament games than anybody else in NCAA history. Let's see. Who else would be out there? Duke would be out there. UCLA, he won 10 straight championships. Coach Wooten did. I'm going to go true.
No, sir. I was hoping you would say Kentucky.
Oh, forgot Kentucky. Never even thought of Kentucky.
I know. Here they are having a tremendous season, but they've won more tournament games than any other team. So.
Thank Richard. No, thanks. I feel like a real idiot now. You're right.
Moving right along. Question number 4. This is a tennis question.
Okay, all right. I know.
Wimbledon is played on clay courts.
That is false.
That is false. It's grass.
Play on grass, yep.
Good job. All right. You're 3 for 4. That's respectable so far.
No, I want to win. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Number 5, true or false? In the history of the Super Bowl, the classic game has only been played in 6 different states. True or false?
Super Bowl's only been played geographically in 6 different states. True or false? Okay, let's see. I'm going to see if I can get this. Louisiana. They played it in California. They played it the Super Bowl. Gosh, they played in New England. They played in New Jersey at the Meadowlands. That's 3. How many did you say? 6?
6.
They played in Florida. They ever played in the Georgia Dome? I can't remember if they played in the Georgia. There's 4. I'll say it's true.
Very good.
Oh!
It is true. Good job.
God.
A couple of the others you didn't mention. Michigan. They played in Detroit. And they played in Minnesota at the Humphreys Dome.
Yeah, at the Metrodome and in the Silver Dome. And God.
Yeah.
So Kentucky, the most obvious one I should have gotten, Kentucky. I'm over here thinking
I thought for sure you would get that one, Tom.
Oh, God. See, Richard, I love your friendship, and when I get done with you every week, I just get mad because I'm thinking, how do I miss these questions? You're good. That wasn't obvious. That was just a dumb choice on my part. So that was a stupid question, Richard. I'll just go ahead and say it. Anytime I miss them, they're stupid questions.
Well, if you ever want to feel better about yourself, you ask me the questions, okay?
No, that's good. I'm all right with it because you're doing a great.
I can guarantee you'd feel a whole lot better about yourself. I went about 2 for 5, probably.
Oh, that was a good question. I should have known that. That's really. I'm embarrassed. I didn't. The obvious Kentucky, they're undefeated, and I didn't. I kept thinking UCLA with John Wooden, but anyway, good job. I went 4 for 5. At least I didn't embarrass myself. And Richard, thank you, my friend. Kingsport Cabinetry, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday. All right.
Hey, that sounds great, Tom. I hope you have a great day. Happy Easter to everybody out there.
Amen, brother. Happy Easter, the death, burial, and resurrection. That's what it's all about. Thank you, my friend.
Praise the Lord. Thank
yes,
you,
sir.
See you.
Yes, sir. Oh, me, oh, my. Went stinking 4 for 5 and missed they've won more tournament games than any other team in NCAA history. And I'm thinking John Wooden, he's won 10 straight championships along the way, but they haven't done much since. But Kentucky's been did you know Kentucky? Did you have thought of that one?
That was on my mind.
Yeah. Of course you can say that now after the fact. So.
Well, yesterday, I didn't say this to you yesterday, but I'm going to say it now. Yesterday, you guaranteed that 7 was going to become a big, bold 8.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I walked into Bracken Paving, I got reminded of that. Yeah. So.
It's still what?
It's still not there, no. But now, I will say this. The Apester told me yesterday that I can turn around and ask her the questions, and I said, I will guarantee you dinner or lunch at any restaurant in the Tri-Cities, if I ask you 5 Elvis questions, you will not go 5 for 5. She goes, Oh. She had one of those.
You got the challenge laid down here. Okay.
She said, You're kidding me. I said, No, I guarantee you will not go 5. She said, You don't know how much I study about Elvis. I said, I don't care. You would not go 5 for 5 if I ask you 5 Elvis questions. So she's going to try and work it out where she doesn't want to be on the radio, but if Wyman's around or Sarah, they may answer, and she'll just feed them the answers because you don't want to be on the – she gets a little gun shy or a little microphone shy, but I guarantee it. But I did say that yesterday. I guaranteed it. And today I go 4 for 5 and missed the stupid Kentucky question. Good grief. All right. Let's see. Our word of the day, our thought for the day is, in fact, comes from the late John Wooden. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, says, nothing will work unless you do. How about that? I like that. Nothing will work unless you do.
Nothing will work unless you do.
Yeah, if you just sit around and if you don't have any motivation and just think it's going to fall out of the sky, I mean, you got to put forth the effort.
Yeah.
Nothing will work unless you do. And so that's the thought for the day from Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Again, met with the big boy today, and he's all about it. He wanted me to tell you. Oh, no, here we go. Is that the Apester? Yep.
Yeah.
I guarantee I'll get 5 for 5. No, ma'am. I will go ahead and tell you to your face on the what is this thing, the phone? Or on the camera, anywhere you want to. You will not go 5 for 5 next week. I'll ask the questions. Remind me to do that. Wednesday, I'm asking 5 Elvis questions to Huey, Dewey, and Louie over there, and they're not going to go 5 for 5.
I think if she wants to answer the questions, she's got to be on the phone.
I think that's only fair. I think you're
that's
exactly
fair.
Right.
I think
Give me some
yeah.
taters. I think that's only fair for the Apester to be on the phone, and all she has to say is true or false.
That's all she's got to do.
We're not asking for the Gettysburg Address. We're just saying true or false.
Yeah.
Apester, true or false. And if she's that confident, she will go 5 for 5. She'll be at least I'll be able to come on the phone and do it. There you go. So if she can't come on the phone, we're not doing it. How's that? Way to go, horse. Good job. Get your hiney in the sling.
The
That's
smackdown
right.
has been laid down.
There you go.
There we go.
5 for 5 next Wednesday, Elvis questions. So she said, well, I'll do it. I said, let's just do sports. And her face went, no, not sports.
No.
I said, we'll do Elvis. So we'll do that. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Again, it's all about your castle homeowners insurance. More than an investment, your house is where you live and where you make memories that last a lifetime. They've been providing professional personal service for more than 75 years, and they use their experience to help you choose the coverage options that are just right for you. Now, here are some of the things Nationwide covers: fire and lightning, windstorm and hail, explosion, aircraft, insurance protecting against aircrafts. You know, we've read where planes have crashed into homes close to airports. They got insurance for that. Smoke damage, vandalism and malicious mischief. Going 0 for 5 on Elvis quiz show questions. They've got insurance for that. No, they don't. Falling objects, theft or on or off premises, accidental overflow of water from plumbing, accidental electric damage to appliances. All this comes under the homeowners policy of Nationwide. Again, give them a call. Again, the true test of an insurance company is how quickly and fairly claims are settled. That's why you'll experience a personal, hassle-free claims process with Nationwide. I can tell you that from experience. Just call their dedicated representatives anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, from anywhere in the United States and Canada. Again, Nationwide is on your side. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Quick break, hour number 2 coming up. We'll check in with David Carmichael from the Johnson City Parks and Rec. What's the other thing? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what the next message is. Oh, she's getting really cocky over there now. And she says, let's see what the young lady says. She says, I did not agree to that for next week. There we go. Now she's already starting to backpedal. I like that. First one was, I guarantee I'll go 5 for 5. I did not agree to that for next week. So now she's backpedaling. That's back home we'd say she's scared. Scared of us. And what's that little thing you always say? What kind of day you have today? Today is what? Good.
Oh, it's a good day. There we go. I'm doing good.
Quick break. We'll be right back. Hour number 2. So she's already back to see this is what I like. I guarantee I'll go 5 for 5. Then 2 minutes later, I get a text. I did not agree to that for next week. Okay, so.
Well, how can you go 5 for 5 if you're not going to be on the phone answering the questions?
Pitiful. It's sad. She's running scared.
Because then whoever's on the phone is going to be the one going 5 for 5.
Booyah. Scared of the Cowboys, what it is. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll come back with hour number 2. This phone's going to blow up here. On the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll be right back. Come back with us.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
It's not just a race, it's the place. A place to set up a tent, park the RV, and start emptying the cooler. A place to fire up the grill in the Tennessee hills and take in the best short track racing in NASCAR. The place is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Hope you'll join us on April 19th for the Food City 500. Call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com. It's not just a place.
It's Bristol, baby!
Oh my, that's good. Well, I got a text from her, and I just sent back scared. Yeah. I will say this: the young lady gives great hugs. She stopped by and got me a hug yesterday. My every other week hug. So again, the apester from.
she's blowing your phone up. Big
She's
guy.
burning his phone up over here. She's a piece of work. So anyway. We'll see if that'll come. She may not do it. If she doesn't, that's okay. I can still call her scared. So, Mr. Carmichael is on the phone. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am doing great. Just another nice spring afternoon here in East Tennessee.
You got it. I got the apester from Bracken Paving. You're a big Elvis fan, so I put out the challenge to her that I'm going to ask her the Elvis questions next week. And she's already said that she'll go 5 for 5, and now she's kind of backing up a little bit. Would you feel confident enough someday for me to ask you 5 Elvis questions?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, he came up right back to that pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
So.
Well, you can always ask, and you may not get the right answers, but you can always ask questions.
There you go. Good point. Good point. I mean, you'll be right, but you'll still at least take the questions on.
I'm always up for any kind of contest or game. I'm always up for that.
All right, I just went 4 for 5 on the question. I'm going to ask you the question I missed and see if you get it, because I feel like a complete idiot. I thought I was going to get this 5 for 5. The question was, true or false, North Carolina has won more tournament basketball games than any other team in the NCAA history. True or false, North Carolina?
I would say false.
Okay. Who do you think's won more games? Oh, no.
I would say Kentucky. And here's
dude, you got it.
Because even though the great UCLA has won more championships,
there you go.
We won most of ours back in the day where you only had to win 4 games to win it.
There you go.
And now Kentucky has played in this 60 long enough in this 60. UCLA's only won 1 national championship in what I call the modern era. And Kentucky's won, 2 or 3 national championships. And I would say because of that, they played that extended round 64 much more.
Now I'm more madder than I was a few minutes ago. That's exactly. I sit right here and I said false because I was thinking UCLA, and he said, Tom, Kentucky, and I never even crossed my radar screen. I was thinking.
Yeah, just because of the extended, because I mean, all of 9 of the UCLA or 10 of the UCLA national championships were done in the pre-64 era.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that very much. Now I feel like a complete idiot twice over because I thought maybe you had gotten it wrong, but no, now I feel really dumb, so extra dumber. But anyway, Carmichael's with us, and speaking of that, let's talk about the Final Four this weekend, Kentucky and Wisconsin. Who do you like there?
My heart roots for Wisconsin, but I think my head thinks is Kentucky.
All right, I was getting a drink. All right, that's the first one. The second one is Michigan State and Duke.
That's another one. My heart is for Michigan State, but my head says Duke.
All right, you're going Duke and you're going Kentucky for the championship, correct?
Correct.
All right, we'll see if that works. And Rick Barnes, what do you think about Tennessee hiring Rick Barnes? Think that's a good hire?
I really think Rick Barnes, that is a great hire for that school. He's, he had his critics in Texas because, he didn't advance. He didn't win the national championship. Well, that is a football school. And they just had a little bit of success until Rick Barnes came there. And I think that fan base was spoiled because of that. And I admire him that he stood up for his assistants. They wanted him to fire some assistants down there, and he refused to do so because a lot of those guys that have worked for him have been with him since he started George Mason. And I think he just brings stability to the program. He's a, quote, local guy. I mean, he's from Hickory. And I just think it's a great hire.
I do, too. I think you're exactly right. Plus, he has local ties. His wife graduated from Tennessee. And he is from North Carolina. In fact, one of his childhood buddies or high school buddies is NASCAR driver Dale Jarrett. They're very, very tight, which doesn't have anything to do with UT. But he is from the South, and his wife graduated from Tennessee. So it's like a homecoming to him. He's excited to be back. And I think you give him some time, I think he's going to turn that around, and he's going to make it a basketball powerhouse at Tennessee. And I'm looking forward to it. A little closer to home, what do you think about Forbes being the new coach at East Tennessee State?
And I think that's a great hire as well because you can build a great mid-major program, and I think he's the guy that can do it for this university. I mean, you look at people like at Wichita State. He was the assistant there. He'd been at Tennessee. Greg Marshall has built Wichita State into a program where he's turning down, quote, big name jobs to stay at Wichita State. And I think Forbes can build ETSU into a program similar to that. I really think, and I'm excited about him coming out here to the university, and we'll build this program and get it back into the upper echelon of the Southern Conference again.
Talking to David Carmichael, Johnson City Parks and Rec. He joins us each week. As a matter of fact, Michael White had him on the show Monday. He said after the press conference they sold $25,000 worth of tickets in 30 minutes there at ETSU after Forbes' press conference, based on the excitement and the enthusiasm, and so that's quite a financial shot in the arm in 30 minutes. So I think the community is buzzing. I think they're buzzing about Carl Torbush. We're going to have him on next week here on the show, and we're pretty excited about that. And I know the community and the region's embracing the football and now the basketball, right?
Right. This community, hated losing that football program. And they built the football, the football program's back. You've got a named person who is actually, somebody that's recognizable coaching the team. You've got some assistants, either former players. I think Billy Taylor is with the team. You've got Mike O'Kane, who was a former head coach in the ACC with North Carolina State. Excited about that, and now excited about the basketball hire as well.
Talking to David Carmichael, Johnson City Parks and Rec, one of our buddies that joins us each week. We certainly appreciate that. And let's jump in here and go. Let's talk about what's happening with the Parks and Rec, starting with got softball registration coming up. But first, talk about the Art in the Park. What's this all about?
This Art in the Park is something that artists and craftsmen and craftswomen from across the area can showcase and sell their artwork. It's a place that we are big. We're not just we like to say we're not just balls and bats with the Park and Recreation Department. We do a variety of other things. And art is one of our big things, and over the next few weeks, hopefully, we'll be talking a little bit more about things going on at the Princeton Arts Center. But this one will be happening at the Memorial Park Community Center. It's the second annual Art in the Park. Artists and craftsmen can showcase and sell their artwork. It will be next Friday, April 10th from 1 till 7, and Saturday, April 11th from 10 till 6. The entry fee is $25 if anybody's interested in showcasing their work or selling their artwork. But if you're interested in just showing up and looking at it or purchasing some, it'll be, like I said, next Friday the 10th from 1 till 7, and Saturday the 11th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
All right, good stuff going on there. Then also the adult softball registration, getting ready to crank up and heat up. Tell us about that.
We are still taking adult registrations. The deadline is tomorrow at evening at 5:30 when we close. We've got taking teams in men's open and men's church. The entry fee is $400 per team plus $5 if you have any players that do not live in the city limits. And we also have a co-ed division, co-ed open, and co-ed church. It's $300 for the co-ed division with the same $5 for any non-city residents. and we'll be starting the league on the week of April 27th.
Neat stuff going on again at the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Has the foot golf, when does that start?
We tried to do foot golf last weekend, but because of the frigid conditions out last Saturday, we canceled that, and we were working on a date to do foot golf again. And once I get that information, I'll be passing that along. I was out last Saturday morning because we had Little League opening ceremonies down at the Major League field down at Kiwanis Park, and we dedicated one of the ball fields to a longtime umpire in the program, John Mashburn, and Kenny Arwood. A lot of people remember Kenny. He coached in Little League for over 40 years. He was also the PA announcer for the Science Hill basketball games from the 70s through until the mid-2000s.
Yep. Remember that gentleman well. Nice guy. And so all that happened. Now, kickballs. The kids' kickball already started?
We start playing Monday. We'll be rolling out game. We'll be rolling the kickball out Monday, starting out here at Wingdeer Park Monday night. Our teams have filled up in that right now, just like soccer. We started youth soccer this week, and we have all teams filled in our youth soccer program for the spring.
Yeah, maybe we can I got a little person maybe interested in kickball. So is this just they do it in the fall too, or just in the spring?
We do it in the spring.
Okay.
And then we do soccer. We'll start registrations in May for fall soccer, and we have that involved in the fall as well as the spring.
Keep us posted on the foot golf. Horace expressed a little interest. He'd like to go out and do a little foot golf. I said, well, I'll go with you if you want to try it. We'll go barefooted and kick and play golf and kick the ball and all whatever we're doing. So
no, it's I've not done it, but I've, like I said, seen the YouTube videos. It looks like it would be a lot of fun to do.
You got it. Mr. Carmichael, you're awesome, my friend. Thank you. Have a happy Easter, you and yours, and we'll reconvene, do this all over again next Thursday, all right?
Thanks, Tom. We'll see you then.
Yeah, great job, my buddy David Carmichael of the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Appreciate him very, very much. And, again, speaking of the Easter weekend, Aric Almirola, the driver of the Richard Petty STP 43. Again, they, of course, have the week off, and he was posed the question, what are you going to do this week on your week off? Again, as the driver of the 43 ride, what are you and your family going to do?
Actually just talked about that last night. We're going to just kind of hang out and stay put. I traveled a lot this off season. I went to China, traveled a lot for sponsors and all over the country doing appearances and whatnot. And then the beginning of the season with, a week and a half or 10 days in Daytona, and then going to the West Coast for 3 weeks. I'm ready to sit at home on my couch for a while and just kind of recharge the batteries. So we're going to stay at home. We might take off for a couple day trips, take the kids somewhere fun, but we'll probably go hiking or something. We've always enjoyed hiking. We got a couple backpacks we throw the kids in and take off and go hiking. So we'll probably go up to the mountains and do a couple day hikes or something like that.
There you go, Aric Almirola. I guess these guys get away. They're going to hike and stay home. I never thought about the travel. These guys are on the road all the time, either personal appearances or just, as he said, a 3-week West Coast swing with NASCAR. So Aric Almirola and his wife and the kids are going to do a little backpacking and hiking and just stay at home. I think it's, by definition, would you consider yourself a homebody by definition? You like to travel, you like to stay at home?
Well, I would travel more, but, I think my situation dictates I'm a homebody. But I think that's going to change. I've got something planned in September. I'm looking forward to it. It's on my bucket list, so we'll see.
Yeah. Mrs. V, she like to travel or she like to stay at home?
She's more of a homebody, but she does. If it's short trips, the long stuff, and we used to go every summer. When Manchild played basketball in AAU and whatnot, we would go down to Orlando when he was playing, and we'd make it a week-long trip, and go to the theme parks and stuff. She's not a theme park person.
Gotcha.
So
you are? You like riding rides?
I used to, yeah. I'm more of a Dollywood person now. I like to go to the shows and do stuff, look at the crafts and stuff. But in my younger days, I was a ride king.
This weekend at the Fort Henry Mall, I drove by there yesterday, Kingsport Townsend. They got a big carnival over there, and so maybe you want to go over there and hit the tilt-a-whirl, or you and Mrs. V, get you a candy apple or a snow cone or a big old thing cotton candy and ride some rides. And
Ferris wheel, only big guy.
Ferris wheel.
And merry-go-round.
Tilt-a-whirl's not you?
Not anymore.
Okay, gotcha. So anyway, the homebody kind of, I would think a lot of these drivers, it just depends. Some of them want to get completely out of the country. They go down to the Caribbean, and a lot of them go on cruises or just go down on an island and disappear for a couple of days, get away from I would think the demands on their time is relentless, really, these drivers. And so, again, Aric Almirola said he's going to stay at home this week. And you're going to pick back up with the Duck Commander 500 next week.
Duck Commander.
At Texas Motor Speedway. And then, of course, 2 weeks from Saturday. Actually, 2 weeks from tomorrow is Bush Bing's Pole Day. It's hard to believe it's here.
Yep.
And then we get going in 2 weeks at the world's fastest half mile, the last Great Coliseum. Speaking of, they've announced the starter for the Food City 500. Fox News reporter Dana Perino will be in town to say, driver, start your engine. So theoretically, she'll be down there. I may get a chance to introduce her. We'll see.
And she's
certainly be around her.
Going to wave that green flag, too.
Yeah, I'm going to get my picture taken with her. Ain't she
Yes,
kind of
sir.
pretty?
Oh, yeah. You need that picture. Put it on the wall back here.
If I'm not mistaken, I think she went to West Virginia University. I'm not going to hold that against her, but she has ties back home in some way, shape, or form. I can't remember how, but she'll be the honorary starter. The Grand Marshal, I think, is pretty cool, too. The children of Jeff Gordon are going to be the Grand Marshal for the Food City 500. Of course, this is his last go-around in the spring.
Yep.
He's stepping away. Chase Elliott's going to be in his car next year. So, again, the starter for the Food City 500, Fox News reporter Dana Perino. And is she on the show called The Five?
Yeah, she does the 5 at 5 o'clock.
Is she the brunette or the blonde?
Oh, she's the smart blonde.
The blonde? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen it maybe. What's the guy that sits in the middle? The heavyset guy that
geez.
argues with
Forget
everything.
Forget him.
Yeah.
He's on that.
Yeah.
He likes to go through KFC and get buckets of left wings.
Whoa! Buckets of left wings. Got you. So anyway, the lady on the show that we're speaking of, Perino, is the blonde, correct? All right. There's another one on there. It's a brunette. I don't know her name either. But so Dana Perino is going to be the starter of the Food City 500, and Jeff Gordon's children will be the Grand Marshal. The Food City 500 coming up in a couple of weeks. Now, again, you can get these tickets. We talked to Landon Owen yesterday, the director of ticket sales at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, this is a no-brainer. You made a great point. I don't know what a ticket is to Dollywood. I don't know what a ticket to any of these amusement parks. You said a ticket to Disney.
Disney World now is over $100 for a one-day, one-park ticket.
For an adult?
For an adult.
Yeah. So that's $100 plus you got to drive down there.
Oh, yeah.
And the hotel.
Yeah.
Now, we're not picking on Disney, but just showing you a price comparison. Bristol Motor Speedway, 3 days in April and 2 days in August here in our backyard, $149 ticket. That comes out to about $29.80 a day. Plus, you get the Battle of Bristol, get a chance to put money down in the deposit for the Battle of Bristol tickets. There's only about 70,000 of those left, apparently. They've been selling like hotcakes. And so you can go to BristolTix.com or call 423-BRISTOL and get your season passes. It also puts you in the running for the Super Pass where you can get down on the track. And, again, we keep telling you about the show coming to town, the Old Crow Medicine Show. That's going to be coming up, the pre-race concert on 2 weeks from Sunday. Two-time Grammy Award-winning The Old Crow Medicine Show. And so get your tickets, and they've been ringing off the hook. BristolTix.com or go to 423 or call 423-BRISTOL. And, again, BristolTix.com. Either one of those can get you your tickets to go see some great racing coming up in 2 weeks at the last Great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Can't wait. Dana Perino, starter of the Food City 500, and Jeff Gordon's kids will be the Grand Marshals for the, I guess that's plural. I think he has 2 children, Grand Marshals for, and I guess he married a model. He's married to a model.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's his second marriage or first marriage?
It's his second. He was married to Brooke, and that didn't go. And he's got, it's his second marriage, and I'm pretty sure he's got 2 children. So I will say plural, Grand Marshals of the Food City 500, which is going to be pretty cool. I think, for me, as the announcer, one of the coolest things up there is the pre-race, the patriotic. There's always a patriotic salute. I think we've talked about this. You having served in the military. In behind the start-finish line is a empty seat for MIAs and POWs. Yep. And every day they put a fresh bouquet of flowers in and around that seat every day.
That's cool.
And to honor, it's a black seat. It's right there at the start-finish line. It stays empty year-round to let them know that the folks at Bristol Motor Speedway have not forgot them or their families, POWs or MIAs. Coolest thing I ever did. I mean, we'll go to the break. I know we got some folks waiting on us. But it's been 4 or 5 years ago. It was a surprise. Brought these guys back from Iraq, and they didn't know it. They had the family down on the apron, and they really pulled off a really slick promotion. There's kudos to Jennifer and the folks at the Speedway. They had up on this big Jumbotron. This is great. I'm going to get this got to me, but up on the Jumbotron, they had all the families. They introduced them as families of their soldiers currently serving in Iraq and Afghanistan. So they had I think it was President Bush. Somebody was up on the Jumbotron. He said, direct your attention to the Jumbotron, okay? So they got all these families on the infield looking up. Well, coming down out of the stands, they prearranged. They had a bunch of these guys come back, brought them back early. So, and you hear this I'm getting goosebumps. You just heard this hush come over the crowd. Nobody cheered. Everybody just started clapping. You heard them coming down in their uniforms, coming down the steps, hearing those shoes hit those steps. They hit and then come down and start
the cameras on them, and it's on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, well, no, they don't. No, they don't see them.
Oh, they don't.
The family's watching the Jumbotron.
Okay.
Only ones know that the guys are coming down, and ladies.
People around them right there seeing them.
Yeah, they're seeing them coming down the steps. And all of a sudden, you see some of the parents and some of the loved ones turn around and do a double take, and they see their kids coming down through the stands. Whoo! Get me tore up about that. And I'm telling you, those people, because they hadn't seen them in 3 or 4 years, and they just broke rank and ran across the track and went up and bear hugged theirs because they hadn't seen them in 2 or 3 years. They came down. You had, of course, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Army. I don't know if there's any Coast Guard, but I'll never forget that was the coolest thing. And the place then at that point, when the crowd realized it was a surprise, because I had to read the thing that they didn't know they were coming, and the loved ones are hugging the folks in the military, the place goes nuts.
Oh,
and there's probably there's probably 40 or 50 of them to come back, if that many, but if one came back, but I know it was more than that. But the place went bonkers, and that was one of those great pre-races that I'll never forget at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that's the kind of thing you see up there all the time. You just never know. 2 years ago, unbeknownst, it was like so under the radar. Here's Sarah Palin. There's a lady standing beside me, and she's getting ready to go up on the stage, and they hand me this thing and said,
here's your introduce
this
person.
And I'm standing, of course, I'm Forrest Gump. I go, God, she looks like Sarah Palin. She's not very tall, and guess what?
It was
Sarah Palin. And then the other one was the guy a couple of years ago. The race fell on St. Patty's Day. We had Cliff from Norm. It was Norm from Cheers.
Yeah.
So we introduced, and we had Norm up there. And, of course, Norm, he struggled to get up on that 3 or 4 steps to get up to the podium. He leaned up on the podium and said, welcome to Bristol, folks. Meet me in turn 4 outside the hospitality. We'll have a drink. And the place went nuts, So you just never know, Bristol Motor Speedway, who's going to be up there. So anyway, all this to say, get your tickets. The pre-race are awesome. BristolTix.com, BristolTix.com, or 423-BRISTOL. And there's some surprises this year, too, that we don't know about. Oh, we do know about, but you don't know about. So it's going to be good. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We've got David Crum. Also got an exclusive with Scotty Whaley, the new girls basketball coach at Science Hill with the Lady Hilltoppers. Just got hired yesterday. We got him here today. Coming up on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no.
Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Hey, Diet Mountain Dew driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. here. On April 19th, I'll be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500. Tickets start at just $64, so call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com today to see me and my Diet Mountain Dew team in Bristol. It's Bristol, baby.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Thursday, again, April the 2nd, our 39th day together. Tomorrow we'll wrap up 40 days or 8 weeks together. Love it. Show's growing. We're in 9 states: Kansas, Tennessee, California, South Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, and Michigan and Georgia. We're actually in 9 states. People have responded and told us. We appreciate that. Now, we're right now on livestream.com. Tonight we can podcast. You can go back and listen or watch this. Where, Horse?
Okay, you go to TuneIn Radio, iTunes, or Stitcher, and you can download the podcast, and you can listen to it at your leisure. That way, if you want to watch the webcam version again, you can go back to livestream.com again and see the archived version, or go to YouTube, and we put it up on YouTube every day.
Key to that, of course, all you got to do is type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and there you be. And we are very excited about being a part of this. Again, wrapping up 8 weeks tomorrow. Again, reminding you, just came out, Dana Perino is going to be the starter for the Food City 500 from Fox News. The Grand Marshals will be Jeff Gordon's kid. So I wanted you to know that. That is hot off the press. This guy came to us here a few minutes ago. We are excited. We have a brand-new basketball coach for the Lady Hilltoppers at Science Hill. He joins us live here on the phone. Coach Scotty Whaley. Coach, good afternoon. First off, congratulations, my friend.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Taylor. Thank you very much.
Mr. Taylor. Last time I had Mr. Taylor, there's some blue lights in my rearview mirror saying, "Can I see your license, Mr. Taylor?" So you just call me Tom, but thank you very much. And
yes, sir.
106-14 in 6 seasons as a junior varsity coach. You've had some success. That's got to be, gosh, I would think that'd really help you. You'll be coaching some of those same ladies come next year on the varsity, right?
We will. We've been blessed to have great kids in our program, just quality kids who have believe in our system, believe what we do, and just tremendous kids. And they've worked hard, and we have a lot of those same kids. And with each level, the competition gets tougher, and we just hope to continue the tradition that we've had.
Had about 6 people applying for this position. What did you tell the committee? What do you feel like sold you to them about being the next girls varsity coach at Science Hill?
We just talked about, being good communicators, trust with our kids, being part of the system that, came from the system with Coach Barnwell here and then with Coach Turner. I think the familiarity with the program and the fact, that our kids have been successful in what we've done.
Again, we're talking to Scotty Whaley. You've had a pretty good run. Again, you've been a part of over 269 wins over the last 10 years with Darryl Barnwell and now Keith Turner. So there's been some success. What about what's in the barn, as they say, for next year? Got some good girls coming back?
Yes, we have 10 kids who will actually be back. We lost, of course, Keisha Gregory, who did a lot of stuff for us, and Sydney Whiteside, 2 great kids that are just first-class kids in our program and who did everything that we asked them to do. We'll return 3 starters and then 7 other kids who played junior varsity and varsity that got some experience. So we'll have about 9 or 10 kids in the mix, and they'll compete for positions and hopefully be able to play all of them is what we try to do.
Again, we're talking to Scotty Whaley, the new girls basketball coach at Science Hill. He was on Coach Barnwell's staff, back-to-back state championship appearances in 2012 and 13 after reaching the state semis in 2011. Give us a sense. Folks think that's an easy thing to do, and and I know that is not easy to do. Tell us how tough it is to just get down to the state tournament.
It's extremely tough. Region 2 with Morristown West and Morristown East and Jeff County and South Door, just extremely talented. We were just fortunate to have great kids with Tiana and Tarter, who's done a great job at ETSU, Gabby Lyons, Haley Hensley, some of those kids. You've got to be talented and you've got to be lucky. And we had some good breaks go our way, and our kids just really, when they were on that stage, our kids just performed tremendously. And it's just tough to get there. If you make it one time, you're fortunate. We were fortunate to go 3 years in a row. It was just a blessing to be there.
We had the privilege this year here on Tom Taylor Productions to live stream some of the Lady Hilltopper games. Hope that continues next year. We got a chance to see ladies like Laura Scharberg and Isabel Holly and Rogers. And I just went totally blank. There was a blonde that's a sophomore that could shoot the lights out.
Caitlin Phillips.
Thank you, Miss Phillips. And so what I saw looks like to me from around here going into the new basketball season, I would think you guys would be regarded as one of the teams to beat again this year, wouldn't you think?
We hope to be in the mix. We have some really good kids. Daniel Boone will be very good. They have a lot of talent coming back, a lot of young talent, as does Dobbins Bennett. And then Tennessee High is always just a solid ball club. Coach Wade does a great job over there. And Sullivan Central will be very good. Coach Cersei's got a lot of good young kids. But we'll be in the mix. Our kids understand the tradition. They're used to winning, and they find a way to get it done.
Winning is a habit, is it not? Folks say, well, but really and truly, winning can be and losing can be a habit both ways, right?
It is. Winning's a habit. When Coach Barnwell came in, he just completely changed the culture of our program, and our kids got used to winning, and they put in the time, and they put in the effort, and they put in the work to win. And then you've got to have some talented kids and just kids that believe in what you're doing.
We're talking to Scotty Whaley, the new basketball coach at Science Hill. So have you talked to the girls? Do they know you're the new coach? And what's next? Do you start practice, off-season workouts? What's next?
Coach Turner informed them yesterday, and then our banquet is next Wednesday, and we will meet with them at the banquet, right after the banquet, and then start spring practice about the third week of May. We'll be going to Maryville Heritage to basketball camp the first weekend in June, and then we're looking at possibly going to ETSU's team camp the 11th, 12th, and 13th of June also. And then we'll have our Lady Topper camp. We haven't set the dates on it yet. We're looking at where we can put it on the schedule. But about 3 or 4 more weeks, start spring practice and do the summer camps, and then just get ready for the season.
There you go. Fair statement. You are jazzed, use the adjective jazzed, stoked, fired up to be the new coach at Science Hill.
Yes. I mean, it's just excited. We have a good staff, great assistants, great administrative support at Science Hill. I have a great principal that I work for at Town Acres, and Dr. Steve Barnett. And, they've all been excited. A lot of congratulations, and just makes you feel good. And we're excited and ready to go, and just hope we can continue the tradition that has been established by the former coaches and players and keep going.
One of the reasons I like Steve Barnett, he is a Raiders fan. So he and I, we got a
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, he's a great guy, does a great job, and so do you, Coach.
He is. Well, thank you.
We are tickled to death that you're on board. Looking forward to working with you in the future. And again, congratulations, you deserve it. And go Toppers, right?
That's right. Go Toppers, Tom. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Yes, sir. You have a great day.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, super job. New coach again at Science Hill, the girls basketball program, Scotty Whaley, a 47-year-old coach. And, again, he's been the one constant as the Lady Toppers have won 269 games over the past decade, and he is the man now that's been handed the clipboard and the whistle and say, go get him, Tiger. So, and I think he'll do a great job. This is not his first rodeo, as they say. So, well, here we go. And I've got another text from the Apester, and she says, is she mad at me? And she says, no, I'm not mad at you anymore. So there you go. It's all
all well and good.
Yeah, storm's blown over. So there you go. It's all good. So anyway, we appreciate them. It's been a while since we moved that number up there. Maybe, you're tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Am I tomorrow?
Yeah, it's
That's right,
Friday.
it's Friday.
Horace will be on there tomorrow. Maybe he can go put the big fat 8 up here on the scoreboard. The Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance Quiz Show scoreboard. And by the way, you can get, and I can't even find Wyman anymore. He is running so wide open. 323-8726 is the number to call. And this guy's out there giving quotes left and right. Again, as he said yesterday on the show, winter's been very, very tough on people's. Man, I hit a pothole yesterday. I thought I was going to knock my teeth out. It was on a road, not on a people's driveway. But, of course, he's doing driveways and parking lots.
I've been in your car, and I think any hole makes you knock your teeth out.
Oh, really? 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 Is that what you think? Well, that's good. That's good. So if he ever is broke down, he don't need to call me because my car ain't good enough for him. There you go. That's all right. Well, I'm a little offended by that, but that's okay. I'll get over it. I think. That's what Daddy used to say. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. But I will say this. The best part about my car is how much do I owe on it?
Zippo.
0. A bad boy is paid for. So, there you go. Somebody just sent me something. So, anyway, yeah. We are here at the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Thursday. We want to tell you about Gino. Now, what do you think? Gino says the men's program, college basketball, for all intents and purposes, is, as he says, a joke. What do you think?
The men's program.
Men's program, yeah.
Well, in some aspects, I tend to agree with him. So here, even though he's on my not so like list, but basketball, especially at the NBA level, and in some of the collegiate programs, it's more about the money and the entertainment and the traditional. Just going to watching plain old basketball, you just don't see it anymore. It's more about look at me, look what I can do, and if you want to watch plain old basketball, good basketball, sometimes you got to drop back into that women's program and you see what basketball used to be. It can be boring at times, but it can be exciting at times too. But
there you go. Well, my thing, I'm right there with you. Not a lot of fundamental basketball. Well, I'd say not a lot of fundamental. But if you watch a girls' game, there's picks, there's rolls, there's screens, there's back screens, and they do some of that in the college, and I'm not going to completely throw off on them. But what I've been watching, some of the March Madness, not all of it, some of it's a lot of playground, I would call. A lot of street ball, just kind of who's going to shoot it, you shoot it, I'll shoot it. Didn't seem to be, and maybe, I've played it a long time, so I think I can say this, that I didn't see a whole lot of structure, I guess would be the word I want to use. In girls' basketball, there's a lot of structure. The game, I guess, a little bit slower by nature. They don't live and die on the dunk because not many of them can do that. 3-point, it just seems like they're better shooters. A lot of them make better free throws. I'd love to go back and see March Madness, the free throw shooting percentage of the men's teams in his men's games, the whole tournament. I bet you maybe 50%.
Yeah.
Maybe, I know Coach Van Huss used to say if you're a really good free throw shooting team, you ought to be hitting 70% of your shots, 7 out of 10. I don't think they're doing that. So I think that's a part of the game that's been one of the fundamentals are not pushing like they used to. That's my opinion. But anyway, Gino said the men's game's kind of a joke. He didn't like watching it, doesn't like talking about it too much, but certainly didn't like watching it. And, again, to a certain degree, I would agree with it. A lot of folks say that about the NBA, that it's just kind of up and down the floor. It's kind of, as we said, street ball. And, if that's the case, then you got to figure it's starting back down to the college level because those guys are going out and playing the NBA. So I don't that's why I like high school basketball.
Well, I think the introduction of the shot clock has a lot to do with it, too, because you've only got so many seconds to get down and get a shot off. And if you don't, then the ball goes to the other team. It's to speed up the game, it's run and gun, run and gun, run and gun. Those teams that know how to slow it down and can play a half-court game tend to play better basketball, more traditional basketball. That's where Kentucky struggled against Notre Dame. Notre Dame slowed it down. They wanted to play that half-court game. That's not Kentucky style. So there you go.
So anyway, Gino says not real excited about watching the men's basketball. Of course, the argument will become now. Let me follow that up and say, come Saturday, Kentucky, Wyoming, and Michigan State and Duke, you're going to see some basketball.
Oh yeah,
you're going to see some screens and picks and rolls. You're going to see some. So for all I said, some of the teams I watched were just helter skelter. But these 4 teams, they're there for a reason. They've earned it, and you're going to see some really, really good basketball.
3 out of those 4 teams will play basketball. The 4th team will run and gun.
Which one's that?
Kentucky.
You don't think they're a set-up, half-court kind of team?
Not well, they can do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that they thrive off pushing the ball up the court, using their size against the and quickness. Get up there, get it done.
I watched those guys shoot those free throws. Some of those games, and you can just tell when they release the ball, they don't have a chance. There's no follow-through. There's no flip of the wrist. It's like, and some of them are backing up. They're leaning backwards or shooting. And you just tell that back when I played, the fundamentals I was taught, and it worked, you didn't see much of that. So, anyway, that's college basketball through the eyes of Gino. Now, before we go to the break, let me tell you about, we talked earlier about Rick Barnes. 5 members of former Tennessee men's basketball coach Donnie Tyndall's staff been let go. That's kind of part of the territory. Bo Braden, strength and conditioning coach. Todd Moyer, director of basketball operations. Justin Phelps, director of player development. So I don't understand all these titles.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a conditioning coach, a director of basketball operations, a director of player development. J.T. Burton is the director of player development, and video coordinator Ty Profit were not retained. So assistant coach Bo Braden, strength and conditioning coach Todd Moyer, the director of basketball operations Justin Phelps, the director of player development J.T. Burton, and video coordinator Ty Profit all let go. So Barnes and Chad Newman, longtime associate director of sports medicine, are the only names listed under the basketball staff right now at UT. And obviously they're talking about bringing in former Tennessee assistant coach Chris Ogden has updated his Twitter account with pictures of Thompson Bowling Arena and Ernie Grunfeld, Bernard King. He tweeted lyrics to Rocky Top. He's on Barnes' staff formerly, so I would think that means he's on his way to K-Town. He's got Rocky Top on on his cell phone or on his Twitter account. So anyway, that's kind of standard procedure. When you get canned, you bring in your own guys, and so or when you get hired, you bring in your own guys. So 5 members of Tyndall staff released by the University of Tennessee. I wonder if they get a buyout contract in their clause as assistants or not. I don't know whether they just kick them to the street or there's some kind of a severance package.
Well, I say when Texas – oh, you're talking about the Tennessee?
I would think there's probably some kind of a severance. I don't know how much.
It's not their fault they fired Tyndall. So
there you go. But they did, and so the boss got canned, so they got to go with him. So there you go. We got a ticket winner coming up here in just a minute. We'll pull that name. Also want to remind you about the good folks, again, at Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. We thank you for responding to what we're talking about. 39 years, 4 locations, 1 family. They got 4 locations on Broad Street in Kingsport, Highway 126 in Bristol near Still Creek Park. You don't like riding in my car. See, that got me. That got me. He implied I'm driving a clunker. I'm not driving a clunker. I promise you. Car is old. It's not old. It's
what do you mean it's not old?
It's seasoned.
It's seasoned.
There you go.
More like you, big guy.
There you go. He didn't like my car. Now, the chances. Here's a quiz show question for you. The chances, true or false, he'll ever be back in my car. So I can't even say the math. He will ever be in my car again. True or false? That would be a no. Feel better. Kingsport, Broad Street, Bristol, Highway 126, Still Creek Park. You better give me some taters before I come across the table. Greenville, Justice Drive, Pounding Mill, Virginia, Short Streets, where these folks are located. 39 years, 4 locations, 1 family. Again, at Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. Again, one of the things they sell a lot of are compression garments. Now, your body cannot control swelling. Your body needs assistance to maintain proper blood flow. Garment squeezes fluids or blood to correct locations in your body. It can be custom fit or off the shelf depending on measurement and diagnosis of your problem. They also have compression garments for upper and lower extremities, even your head and torso if need be. So that's one of the things they do and do very, very, very well. So after 39 years, obviously, that would be something that you would want to check out because you can trust folks. Been at it for 39 years, 4 locations, and still in the same family. That'll be the Gray Bills. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. If you need to brace it or replace it from head to toe, you know where to go. 1-800-524-4447 is the number to call. Or go to the website at bristolonp.com. If you need to brace it or replace it from head to toe, you know where to go. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. We're picking a ticket winner, and we'll also see if we can squeeze in David Crum from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency coming up next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's not just a race, it's the place. A place to set up a tent, park the RV, and start emptying the cooler. A place to fire up the grill in the Tennessee hills and take in the best short track racing in NASCAR. The place is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Hope you'll join us on April 19th for the Food City 500. Call 423-BRISTOL or visit bristoltix.com. It's not just a place.
It's Bristol, baby!
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no.
Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Diller Sports Show, again ready to go to the phone. He's there, buddy, who takes care of the woods and the waterways. Among him and 17 other great officers, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. Our buddy David Crum. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine, Tom. How are you doing today?
Just fine, sir. You're on the road somewhere. Geographically, where might you be right now? What county are you in, anyway?
Geographically, I'm in Washington County.
There you go. We covered how many counties you folks cover?
We cover 10 counties.
Wow. 10 counties, how many officers?
18 officers covering 10 counties from Jefferson County, Cott County, up through Sullivan and Johnson.
There you go. A lot of territory. They do a great job for the resources they have. Let's talk about turkey season, spring turkey season. What's going on?
This coming Saturday, Tom, on the 4th, opens up the statewide turkey season for the state of Tennessee. It goes through May 17th. It opens up and continues on. We've got some really good weather looking at us. You know, possibility of some cooler temperatures. Of course, right now it's real windy out and about with the storm fronts coming in. But it seems all the projections that the biologists have talked about and a lot of the folks have been talking about, and I guess word on the street or word in the woods, is it looks like it's going to be a really good season for the turkeys. They had a lot of food to eat on this past winter, so should be a really good year.
Let's take a look at the population, if you will, this turkeys. Looks like it's going to be a good population for the folks to go out and harvest this year.
Looks like it's going to be a really good population. Matter of fact, last year the harvest was a little over 32,000, so it was a good harvest statewide. It was about 32,500 statewide. A couple of the East Tennessee counties are really coming on strong, Washington County being one of them, where we're starting to harvest more and more birds. It's going to be a really good year. We ended up having some really good weather. Of course, with spring finally coming in after the cold weather, a lot of people itching to get out in the woods. So it should be a really good weekend to go out there. And we've got a concern that's come up here in the last couple of years over a technique being used called fanning. I don't know if you and I talked about this before, Tom. I've talked to it at the different hunter education courses, but it's called fanning. And where somebody actually attaches, they make an attachment you can put on your gun barrel, your shotgun barrel, and put a turkey tail fan on it and stalk up to a turkey. You could imagine if you're stalking up to a turkey, hiding behind a turkey tail fan, and you happen to encounter something other than a turkey, such as another hunter, you can see how dangerous that could be, Tom. It's an effective technique as far as turkey hunting. Some states have actually already outlawed it. The state of Missouri has put a fantastic video out showing the dangers of it. So TWRA is suggesting to people to not use this technique because it can be very dangerous. One of the more dangerous things to do is to actually stalk a turkey going out there. Of course, we've talked over the years of don't wear red, white, or blue, and don't stalk a turkey because people are wearing camouflage. Be sure of your target and beyond. We want everybody to be safe out there and enjoy what the good Lord above has provided for us here in East Tennessee.
Talking to David Crum, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Also, warm and weather means good time, I would think, to go fishing. Tell me about the fishing right now, again, at out on the waterways of Tennessee.
Out on the waterways, there's been actually the fish have really started biting. out on Boone Lake, even with the low water, here the bass are starting to hit on Boone Lake. Of course, crappie or crappie is still hitting on Douglas Lake. So we've got a lot of good things going on. A lot of fish are starting to bite. You know, a bad day fishing is better than any good day at work.
I agree with that.
There you go. Again,
Absolutely.
We're talking to our buddy David Crum, the TWRA. So what's hitting right now? What are folks out there getting here early? Now we're in the first day or two of April.
Well, the bass are hitting. Again, of course, some of them are using the Alabama rig, and here in the state of Tennessee, you're only allowed to use 3 lures on the 5 potential lure rig of the Alabama rig. And, you know, last week we talked about the new state record that of 15 pounds, 3 ounces down on Chickamauga Lake caught, and the guy was actually pre-fishing a bass tournament going out, and he thought he'd caught a 10-pound bass. And he ended up pulling in the new state record. He was using one of these Alabama rigs, and he was using it legally. So it is effective. Some people in Tennessee have complained that Tennessee only allows 3 lures on that 5-lure rig. But obviously, with the new state record being caught on it, it is a very effective rig.
We're talking to our buddy David Crum, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Again, so hunting and fishing big right now. It's big year-round, but certainly this weather warming up is going to be a good time to get out in the woods starting Saturday and do your spring turkey hunting. And also, as you heard him say, the fishing all over the waterways, lakes, and rivers and streams in Tennessee. Mr. Crum, you and I are of the faith, and so this is a big weekend for us, Easter weekend. Tell us about it through your eyes, my friend.
Absolutely, a huge weekend. A lot of people will be going out celebrating tomorrow being a holiday for most folks on Good Friday. It's a good time to stop and remember the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ is why we are all here and why we celebrate Easter. If it wasn't for his blood shed for us, we would not have any grace whatsoever because we are all sinners and the penalty of sin is death. So thank the good Lord above. Stop, spend some time with your family. If you get a chance to go outdoors, stop and pray and thank the good Lord above for what he's provided for you, because if it wasn't for the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, we would not be here, Tom, as you well know.
There you go. Can't top that, my friend. Well put. Give us a famous hook before we get out of here, would you please, sir?
Remember, folks, get your kids hooked on hunting and fishing, and you don't have to worry as much about them getting hooked on other things. And safe boating saves lives.
Thank you, and go ahead and say something about my ever-growing, whatever you always say each week, my ever-growing noggin or whatever it is. So
I don't know, Tom. You may have to put a little sunscreen on that ever-growing noggin. You know, but I actually had a little respect for some of those West Virginia Mountaineers because they did fairly well. They did better than I expected them to do in the March Madness basketball tournament. So I guess all that that Sasquatch League of basketball they played up there in West Virginia probably helped prep them for the NCAA tournament, you think?
I know there's a reason why we talk each week, but sometimes I wonder why we do. But, yes, thank you very much. Sasquatch League, we didn't do too bad at all, yes. We're all right.
One of the brighter parts about that ever-going forehead, Tom, is if you look over your shoulder, you see that cross hanging on the wall.
You got it. That's what it's all about. Mr. Crum, thank you as always. Keep smiling, and, hey, we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Thank you very much, Tom. You take care. Keep it between the ditches, and I'll talk to you soon.
There you go. Good man. He's exactly right. This cross over his shoulder, that's what it's all about. And so that's who we dedicate this show to each and every week. Phil Robertson said on Duck Dynasty, he said, if God is behind it, it'll go all the way to the top. We think the same way about this show. The good Lord's behind it. It'll go as far as he wants it to go. And so far, what'd you tell us the other day? We're in 9 states?
Yeah, at least 9 states.
Yeah, so we give him all the honor about that. Softball, we got to squeeze it in. We didn't talk about it. Softball from yesterday. Volunteer beat Science Hill. Unicoi County defeated Knox Bearden. Happy Valley beat University High. Daniel Boone beat Buckeye of Ohio 14-3. And Sullivan East Ladies beat Tennessee High 6-5. Got a whole slew of baseball today. Softball. We'll tell you all about that coming up again tomorrow on Friday's show. Also, college basketball, the NIT tonight championship, Miami Hurricanes and the Stanford
Cardinals. No. Stanford,
yes.
I say Cardinals.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Not
it.
Singular. Stanford Cardinal is what they call it.
Jeez. Give me a break.
Man, don't want to. Hey.
It's a bird.
Man, don't want to ride my car. There are no more brakes. So right here. That's it. That hurt. That's stuck, all right?
Oh.
The College Insider, Northern Arizona. Yeah, you'll think picky when you'll be out. Hey, Horace kicked me out, or Tom kicked me out. Mrs. V will come get you. Northern Arizona and Evansville will play tonight at the collegeinsider.com championship as well in men's college basketball. You stuck your big fingers down to the bucket and pulled out a winner for tickets. And, again, been going to the Drive to Stop Diabetes 300 and the K&M Pro Series Pit Line 125. Who did you pick today to win tickets, my friend?
We've got Brian Sharp from Gray, Tennessee.
Oh, Brian Sharp, old buddy Brian. Brian's in. So he has won tickets, and we'll be in touch with him. So the list continues to grow, and you can do it. Before we get out of here, tell them again how they can get registered to win tickets to go to the doubleheader coming up 2 weeks from Saturday, my friend.
Go to TomTaylorSportsShow@gmail.com. Send us an email with your name, address, and some contact information and a little blurb about why you want the tickets. And we'll put your name in the old hopper, and hopefully you too will draw your name, and you'll be going on April 18th.
There you go. And I want to say again, saw this yesterday. I want to say again, thanks to Katina Bowman. She sent us a podcast on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and says, podcasting is fun. How about that? So
there you go.
It's easy. And
I'm telling you, it is. It's one of the easiest things to do.
Yeah, and so we appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are out of time. We thank you for yours, of course. It has been brought to you by today's visit from Bristol Motor Speedway, American Import and Auto Repair, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Book Lovers Warehouse, Larry Kaiser and Nationwide Insurance, also by Cherokee Barbershop, Max Medicine Mart, Bays Mountain Park, Wells Fargo Financial Network, and by Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Bracken Paving. Horace, tomorrow,
yes, sir.
Friday show, going to wrap up 8 weeks together.
8 weeks.
Wow, that's awesome. So we are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Hit that music. We're gone, and we'll redo it again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thanks to our guest today, Denny Hamlin, Aric Almirola from NASCAR, Richard Isaac from the Quiz Show, David Carmichael, Johnson City Parks and Rec, David Crum, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency Officer, Scotty Whaley, the new girls basketball coach at Science Hill, and, of course, Horace. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, back tomorrow. Win or lose, be a good sport. See you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So long, everybody.